Today we're going to be learning about defining and non-defining attributes. Last week we talked about how attributes describe a shape. We can describe its color, how many vertices it has or corners, how many sides it has, its size. All of these things are attributes. Today we're going to talk about defining and non-defining attributes and how they apply to triangles. So at the top of our screen, we see 5 different triangles. Think of the way you could describe them. This one's yellow. This one's red. This one has stripes. This one has a green pattern, and this one's yellow too. Think about their size. We have small triangles here, some bigger ones here. Then think about what is the same with all of these triangles. Those things that are always the same are our defining attributes. One way I like to remember defining attributes is by saying the word definitely. It's definitely true of the shape, or it's always true of the shape. So when I think of defining attributes, I think of these 3 things. First, I think of the number of vertices. For this shape, the triangle, there are 3 vertices. Remember, the vertices are the corner. Look at every single triangle. Each one has 3 corners. In order for something to be a triangle, it definitely has to have 3 vertices. I also think about the number of sides. Look at each triangle. There are 1, 2, 3 sides. Is that true of each one? Let's check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Each of the triangles has 3 sides. If you're describing a triangle, it's definitely or always going to have 3 sides. The last thing that we know is always or definitely true is that a triangle is closed. All the sides close together. There are no openings. If something is a triangle, it has to be closed. These 3 things help us to define a triangle. They are called defining attributes. Now let's look at some of the things that are non-defining. These are things that are not always true of a shape, but is true for some. One thing we're going to look at is the size. In all of the triangles up top, you can see that they have varying sizes. Some are small, while others are big. Even though they're both or all triangles, their sizes look different, and that's okay. They're attributes, but they're non-defining. Another thing you'll notice is that their color changes. Again, all the shapes are triangles, but they have different colors. Some are yellow, some are green, some are blue, and some are red. Color is a non-defining attribute. It's not always the same for every triangle. Another thing you'll notice is that some have a pattern. Look at this triangle in the middle. It has a striped pattern. Do all triangles have a striped pattern? No, just some of them do. So that means it's a non-defining attribute. It's not always true. When you look at different shapes, they'll have different non-defining attributes. But when I look at a shape, there are things that will always be the same. These are the things that are defining attributes. Today you'll work with triangles, but you'll also work with different shapes. I want you to think about the things that are always true, or the things that are defining, and the things that are only sometimes true. Those are called non-defining.